focus?
I need a sound check. Can you say something for me?
Sure. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was void and without form.
Okay.
We good?
Okay, we good.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're not taking advantage of all this shade here. You need to move on into
Yeah,
the
I'm
shade.
jealous.
Are you?
You see
That's
this?
some nice shit.
This is the first now. I've been doing this a long time, but this is the first.
I'm not from here. I can't take this Georgia heat. It's too much.
You've been here long. You've been here how many? 3 years now? 4?
No, I've only been here for 1 year.
You've been a year.
The humidity rolls in like it did yesterday. That's when it's suffering.
A year. No, I met you before here last year in here upstairs.
Yeah.
How did I first meet you, Dean?
No, I feel like
I think I met you
we
before
met
that.
at the mayor's. There was like
Yeah.
a press conference in a movie studio.
Yes, yes, yeah,
And
yeah,
I
it was.
there. Yeah, and you were like, you need to move your camera over.
Yeah.
You were coaching me. Yeah. I think that was like my first day out by myself.
Yeah.
You just like the sun, don't you?
I like what the sun.
You like the sun.
Vitamin D, baby. Vitamin D.
Okay.
All the vitamin D.
I've had enough.
You know, blacks always have a lack of vitamin D as you get older. You realize. And you say, how the hell I got a lack of vitamin D? I'm in the sun all day. So, vitamin D
My
deficiency.
husband just got prescribed his doctor vitamin D
Yeah,
supplements.
once a week.
Those bones be wicked and whatnot. My doctor was telling me to take glucosamine.
Bone
For the-
joints and
for
stuff.
the-
Yeah,
for the joints.
yeah,
I think arthritis runs in my family. I'm starting to
yeah. Glucosamine good. That's probably your best vitamin supplement you can take for your joints and bone and joint. Glucosamine.
glucose. You said this is the first. I see people out here with canopies. They had like the little tent.
That's when it's all day.
Okay.
You pop it up 20, 30 minutes. you got yours up.
Listen here. 20, 30 minutes. I have been out there sometimes and
Yeah.
I have felt faint.
Yeah, that's it. Drink plenty of water. I'm getting my phone.
Here.
Hey man. Yeah, so I was calling you. I was calling to tell you that but this is the thing.
I know how I'm gonna get them out here.
Can we stand right here until it's time?
Yeah, I know, right? The audience should be there. It should be the last.
Oh, well, at least this is down here. It's kind of cool, so I can keep my phone here until it's time.
Yeah.
Last time, though, I only spoke for like 3 minutes, and my phone did not survive. Is Lewis still coming? No, the sun's coming from this way. But we're going to be like overexposed.
That's how it goes.
Have you been, Arlene? I feel like I haven't seen you in a very long time.
Yeah.
I haven't. So I on the weekend and everything. So kind of messed up.
I need to take off my Tyler is gonna, I'm sure gonna introduce something. This young man read this whole thing.
Prior to that, I was with taxes. Prior to that.
We got channel 2, I think, joining us in a second, so we're just gonna
Then let's get the shade.
Got a few more seconds?
I mean, really, we need to be like the.
Tyler, are we waiting? Because I'm going to step into the shade if we are.
We need to be like the camera people.
Umbrella in my car. Hold it.
You're welcome to take part in this little shade here if you want to.
Thank you.
You gotta beg me.
Yeah, I know. It's in front of the little thing.
All I felt was just sweat just going down my
I
back.
feel it going down my back right
I
now.
told her, I said, I think I should just on that orange outfit. Because I was
What I
like,
when I did.
No, I didn't. It don't grow back no more since I stopped waxing. It grows more when I wax.
I did it one time and had an allergic reaction. I had to stay in the house for like 2-4 days.
Yeah, I don't do it no more.
I saw that.
It hurt more when I do it.
I might as well because I am doing ACLU. But I feel like
I tell you. You okay? I was calling you.
I called you back,
So last week I was fighting Republicans, fighting Republicans. That was cool. Ready to say no to her. So the city was
You gotta stop being rude. You don't say no. No, it's not okay. You always be here.
I was in that meeting, right? And he's like,
You act like
I don't know, maybe
ask you
sheriff
for
can
something.
do
You want to
something. I don't
snack.
care.
Eat all your stuff.
So yeah, and so this is what he applied. And guess what happened? When they all went to the
Thank you, Mr. Williams. I
asked the
appreciate it.
commissioner because he's the one who approved this project.
All right,
I was like,
that's
oh
what
my
the teachers
god, oh my god. And now the chat started having like, what? That project was supposed to be approved anyway, right? But they were still fighting because these are like, rich neighborhoods, right? And they don't want, and given some of the stuff that they have developed there, it's very out of shape. Accidents, traffic, but the whole line part is just so funny.
wow. You never get away with it. Yep. We're not
Yeah, I was just waiting for that rock star.
And before we start this, I just want to thank everybody for showing up today. It's a very important moment that we're here, and I'm very just humbled and honored that everybody showed up today. And so we're going to kick this off right now. And so, is everybody sort of ready and have their speeches in order and things? All right. Good morning. Oh, okay.
All right, whenever.
Good morning. I am so proud and humbled to be joined today by Chief Assistant District Attorney John Melvin, State Senator Nikki Merritt, State Representatives Farouk Magal and Dr. Jasmine Clark, City Council members Marlene Taylor Crawford and Austin Thompson, various community advocates representing diverse communities in Gwinnett County, such as Michelle Kang, and the families of gun violence that have been impacted by this issue. My name is Tyler Lee, and I'm a senior at Peachtree Ridge High School. I organized this press conference today because in Gwinnett County, in this county, state, and nation, we are at a pivotal moment in our history. Are we going to make a choice to go forwards, or are we going to allow ourselves to go backwards? Gwinnett County has been my home all my life. When we continue to see headlines in the news about our community members, our friends and family, and our loved ones taken from us too soon because of gun violence, we have to ask ourselves if this is really the world we are going to accept. We are gathered here today because we reject gun violence outright. Gun violence will not be accepted as a normal part of everyday life. And the group of community officials and members, elected officials, prosecutors, and city council members being here today proves that we will not allow our communities to be used as target practice anymore. We are having mothers burying their children in this state right now. Earlier in May, when I attended the wake of Timothy Henderson, TJ, a young man who graduated from my high school, Peachtree Ridge High School, the only thought that kept racing through my mind is the fact that there should never be someone so young in a casket. There are so many young people who have yet to experience the world because of reckless individuals who used a firearm to perpetrate their violence within our community. students who deserve to see graduation, young adults who deserve to experience the joys of having their first child and becoming homeowners, professionals in industry and business who could have changed this world for the better, taken from us physically because of a bullet. The United States is the greatest country on the planet, but to have gun violence be the #1 killer of children and teens in this state and in this nation is a setback to that status. This great nation has always stood the test of time, however. We will one day see that our lawmakers come together and pass legislation that ends this type of violence, relegating it to the dustbins of history. I hope to see the day where we describe this type of violence in the past tense, where we are able to tell our children and future generations that we did something in this moment to beat back against gun violence. Thank you so much. And now I'm going to pass it on to Chief Assistant District Attorney John Melvin of Gwinnett County.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming today for Gun Violence Awareness Day. The numbers are staggering. Today, 122 people will lose their lives at the hands of a gun. This year, 40,000 people will lose their lives to gun violence. The numbers have not changed, and they're staggering. The statistics are particularly alarming in that in Gwinnett County, in the state of Georgia in particular, 5.3 people out of 100,000 will lose their lives to guns. Why is this important? Because that number is 25% larger than the national average of 4.6 people per 100,000. In addition to homicides, gun violence takes the form of suicides, which is higher than the homicide rate that we have. I appreciate our community partners shedding light and offering resources on that. Recently, this year, we've had 3 accidental discharges that claimed the lives of toddlers. Our office, the Gwinnett County District Attorney's Office, will hold responsible gun owners that do not rightfully secure their firearms. Please make sure you do that. And finally, gun violence takes the place of mass shootings. We've recently seen the Asian spa shootings 2 years ago, and prior to that, the FedEx facility over in Cobb County. The impact is alarming. In addition to the loss of life and the devastating impact, we have the economic costs, the psychological trauma, as well as the community impact that destabilizes communities. I want to thank my partners from the legislature and our Senate who are taking this seriously, because we can address this together through legislative reforms, through community programs that we have represented here, through mental health services, public awareness, thank you Tyler, as well as research and data collection. This is a complex and multifaceted problem, and the partners here are committed to addressing it. May God bless you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Melvin. And next, I'm going to invite a family who I have met recently, but their story still rings true, and it will still ring for a very long time. I want to invite the family of Timothy Henderson and his mother, Lashika Allman, to the stand.
Good morning. My name is Lashika Allman. I am the parent of Timothy Henderson. Timothy was recently taken away through gun violence. I'm here to speak about Timothy and how gun violence has affected me and our family. I'm sorry, I'm nervous. Timothy was 18. Since the day he was taken away from me, I miss everything about him, from his bright smile to his hugs, his kisses, and his unconditional love and support. TJ always reminded me how much he loved me and wanted the best for me and his friends. He would open up our house to any of his friends who needed us, who needed us. He even took the time to prepare meals for his friends because he loved food, he loved cooking. He was supposed to start school at Gwinnett Tech for culinary arts in August. Timothy loved everybody. Good kid, smiling. You know, he would even be outside playing with the little 8-year-olds, playing football. It broke my heart the day after Timothy was murdered. A little 8-year-old boy walked up to me and said, "Have you planned TJ's funeral yet?" And it really had not hit home. Today I want people to understand that gun violence affects us a lot. It affects me so much because the week after my son was taken from me, I spent my first Mother's Day without him. His birthday is next month, July 26th. He would be 19. I'll spend that without him. Forever, I'm going to miss him and any memories that we could have made, you know. I just hope that me being here today can help people see that gun violence is horrible. It breaks my heart. I would never want another parent to have to go through this. I wish that lawmakers would work really hard on gun reform, you know, stricter laws, you know, just so, and I'm gonna say teens would understand the importance of their life and of taking a life, and just know, you know, you don't want your parents going through this. Like, I don't know, I work really hard to try to move on minute by minute, day by day. I don't know how my life is gonna be for the rest of my life because I lived for my son. He was all I had. So I just hope and pray that, you know, there is some stricter gun restrictions, gun reform. I hope that these kids do pay attention and know that we need some change and to do better. Please, do better.
Ms. Holman, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you,
strong.
Tyler.
And I just want to emphasize that the tragedy that has happened with Timothy Henderson is so much more than political cannon fodder. He was a person. He was an alumni of my school, Peachtree Ridge, and he deserves to be remembered. And so, next, do we have Kevin? I don't think so. And so, we'll move on to our next speaker. It is going to be State Senator Nikki Merritt of the 9th District.
Thanks, Tyler. And thank you all for gathering today. I want to thank Tyler for organizing this press conference today, and the work that he's been doing is incredible. We have to continue to support our young people as they're engaged in their activism. So thank you, Tyler, for doing this. Again, my name is Senator Nikki Merritt. I represent the 9th District, that is right here. And hearing stories like Timothy's, I'm a mom too, and I stand here with a heavy heart, but a determined resolve. Georgia currently ranks 15th in the nation for gun deaths per year. We've lost countless Georgians to gun violence, and the victims of these tragedies bear the trauma for the rest of their lives. Despite the overwhelming majority of constituents who support common sense reforms to curb our gun violence epidemic, such as establishing universal background checks, requiring safe storage in firearms, and banning assault weapons and high-capacity magazines. Yet Georgia Republicans refuse to enact these critical reforms. They are failing to shield our children and our families from the devastating impact of gun violence. But we, the people in Georgia, we must demand more. We have the power to ensure our schools, our places of worship, and our businesses are safe from gun violence. We can make our voices heard and push for the change that we so desperately need. Today and every day, I and my community hold those killed and injured by gun violence and their loved one in our prayers. We pray for the day when we can honor their memory with meaningful action to address this crisis. Now is the time for action. Contact your representatives, join local advocacy groups, and participate in community events and push for the necessary reforms. And I know together we can work for a safer Georgia. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Senator Merritt. And I have to say, they asked me not to get political, but I'm going to make this one statement. And the fact that if people in the legislature, if people in Congress refuse to act on this issue, when they don't change their ways, we change them out. And so I am dedicated to making sure that the good people and the legislature work together to make sure tragedies like this are curbed, because we only get things done when we work together. And so I would next like to introduce State Representative Jasmine Clark. She represents the city of Lilburn and a couple other municipalities in the state legislature, and I will let her have the floor.
Good morning, everybody. I am State Representative Dr. Jasmine Clark. I represent Georgia's House District 108, which is in the Lilburn area. I'm here joined by my colleagues from the Georgia General Assembly and from families impacted by gun violence and other community stakeholders. Today is actually National Gun Violence Awareness Day, but far too many in our communities are tragically aware of gun violence daily. Gun violence is an epidemic, and its effects are far-reaching and devastating for far too many in our communities. As leaders in the legislature, as policymakers, we have the ability to address this epidemic, but it takes the political will to do so. Georgia ranks at number 46 out of 50 in gun law strength. We can do better than that. That makes us one of the weakest in the country. We must repeal dangerous laws in our state, like permitless carry and guns everywhere policies that make our communities less safe and allow guns to get into the hands of people who should not have them. We must give policies like the bill that gave tax breaks for gun safety measures like safe storage and taking gun safety classes, and a bill that required safe gun storage when you have a child in the home, and bills that require universal background checks and close loopholes. We had those policies, but you know what? They either didn't get a hearing or they didn't get a vote. That is unacceptable. We must make the conscious decision as lawmakers to support our communities and say enough is enough. No more students afraid to go to school or to hang out at the mall. No more classmates losing their friends to suicide by gun. No more parents afraid to let their children go play outside or go hang out with their friends. We, as legislators in the Georgia General Assembly, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, you have the power. But what we need is the willpower to do all that we can to curb gun violence for safer communities for all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Representative Clark. Your words ring true. And so the next person I would like to bring to this stand is someone who has been instrumental in helping organize this press conference, and that is the Mayor Pro Tem, the Vice Mayor of the City of Lawrenceville, Councilwoman Marlene Taylor Crawford.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so sad that we have to be here today, but I think it's so important to ensure that everyone leaves with more information that they had when they came here. So I'm going to provide some resources. One is Every Town for Gun Safety. How many people are aware of that resource? Okay, so if you're not, please make sure you check out the website. So it started a program called Smart Campaign, to take action to promote responsible gun ownership. So in other words, if you are a gun owner, you must be responsible as being a gun owner, especially around children. So please check out this website in order to learn more about that. We have Perfectly Imperfect, another resource that's here today. In addition, find out the policy at the local school that your child attends. for those of you who are parents and caretakers. Find out what a hard lockdown means, what a soft lockdown means. Prepare your child when there is an emergency at school, what to do, what not to do. It is so sad that we have to have these conversations, but we must have these conversations. So the more educated we are and our children are, the safer that we can be. Of course, the laws must change, but we have to protect our children. So please check out these websites. If your child attends a school in Gwinnett County Public Schools, there are resources available in terms of when there's an emergency at the school, what is the policy, the protocol at the school. So please leave here more informed than you came. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Councilwoman. And those resources are desperately needed in this county and in this state. And so I believe our last speaker, she is a leader in the AAPI community. She has organized the commemoration events for the March 16th spa shootings that have happened every single year after the tragedy on March 16th, in which we saw a gunman who had obtained a freshly purchased assault rifle type weapon and murdered 6 people of Asian descent, 8 people in total. And I say it every time I am here, those people looked like my family. They looked like my grandmother, they looked like my mother. It's heartbreaking to see such familiar faces on the camera. And I will tell them right now that this action needs to take place not only for my community, but for everyone. Because when we implement this legislation, it helps everyone. And so I think it's desperately needed. And so next, I'm going to introduce Michelle Kang.
Hello everyone, thank you Tyler Lee for organizing this press conference. I want to take a moment to acknowledge the tragic loss of Timothy Henderson. Our hearts are heavy and our community mourns with his family and loved ones during this incredibly difficult times. In honor of Timothy's memory, we are committed to working tirelessly to address the root cause of gun violence and to advocate for safer communities. Last year, I stood before you as an Asian American leader at the 3rd commemoration of the March 16, 2021 Atlanta shootings, where 8 innocent people, including 6 of Asian women, were shot and killed. This year, young advocates like Tyler Lee have come forward and speaking with moms, dads, grandparents, and community members about how we can make our community safer and combat gun violence. As one of the founders of the Atlanta Korean American Committee Against Asian Hate, I have seen firsthand the impact of targeted violence. Hate crimes and racial violence have no place in our community, and we must strengthen our efforts to combat these heinous acts. This includes better reporting mechanisms, stronger enforcement of hate crime laws, and education to foster understanding and respect among all our residents. Despite strong advocacy from grassroots organizations, has our community become safer from gun violence? Do our children and community members feel safe going to school and public spaces? Georgia ranks 46th in the nation for its weak gun laws, lacking fundamental gun safety measures. Last session, State Representative Secure Stewardship Bill HB 161, which would have required secure gun storage to prevent children's access, was the first piece of common sense gun reform legislation heard in committee by the Republican-led Georgia General Assembly in 10 years. Unfortunately, it did not pass. I urge you to participate in the general elections this year and elect state representatives who will vote for common sense gun laws to make our community safer and save lives. Gun violence is a complex issues that demands our immediate attention and action. In recent years, we've witnessed heartbreaking incidents that have shaken our community to its core. Families have lost loved ones, and neighborhoods that once felt safe now live with the constant fear of the next tragedy. We must come together to address this crisis heads-on. First and foremost, I advocate for common sense gun control laws. This includes universal background checks, restrictions on high-capacity magazines, and a ban on assault weapons. These measures are not about infringing on the rights of responsible gun owners, but about keeping dangerous weapons out of the hands of those who should not have them. Additionally, we need to invest violence intervention programs. The programs provide support and resources at-risk individuals, offering them alternatives to a life of violence. Community-based initiatives have proven effectiveness in reducing crime and saving lives, and we must expand and support these efforts. It's also crucial to address the root cause of violence. This means tackling issues such as poverty, lack of education, and mental health. We must ensure that everyone in our community has access to quality education, good jobs, and mental health services. By addressing these underlying factors, we can create safer and more prosperous Gwinnett County for all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ms. King, for speaking. And so I end this press conference with one simple ask, that our legislatures in the state capitol act on this violence. Because as I said last year, and as it rings true now, we can protect second graders and the Second Amendment at the same time. There is no reason why either of them should be off the table. And so I want to thank my partners in this community that have stood by me and believed in the message that we can do something better, we can do something greater in this community. And we are going to support the families that have been impacted by gun violence. And so with that, I end this press conference, and I thank all of our partners in the media and community for attending today. We are on track to change minds and change lives. Thank you so much, everyone. If there's any questions from the media, from any of our attendees, we can do that. If not, you can interview them one-on-one after the...
You did good. You did good. Thank you. Singing in college, singing in high school.
How did I do? Thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry. That's okay. Hey, I am too. You just can't see it. Yeah. I'm sorry, could I catch your last name? Mr. Coppins. 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 Well, all right. Thank you. Do you have a card that I could...
Let me see if I have it.
All right.
Yes, I do. 2 more.
Ah! Thank you.
Let me get you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm real fast. You will. Okay, again. What's your name? Who? Tell me what. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
My name is Tyler Lee, spelled Tylerlee.
Okay, you're senior.
I'm a senior at Peachtree Ridge High School.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Can I get a picture with the camera?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to act like I'm saying something. Okay, we're good. Well, all right. Thank you, Mr. Coppins.
Take care.
You too.
Keep up the good work, okay?
Thank you guys so much for coming.
How you doing? You like the old law. Don't come on here taking no shot at me. That's how you look at it. I'm not going to lie to you. I got to get out of here.
That's right. Was there any appeal to that?
We did not. Okay. Because we were kind of like, well, what do we do? So we're still going to probably pursue something.
Yes, ma'am. director of the GBI.
Oh, okay.